Episode one right here of Wesley Legends, man. Today for the first episode, we're talking about Bradley Beal trending right now. Yeah, him and Nurkic got benched. Benched. You're coming off the bench minutes, which honestly, in my opinion, they should have been doing from the jump because it's too much star power. One of them has to run point guard. They're both naturally shooting guards, and I'm talking about Book and Bradley Beal. And then now we're getting into it. Their current standing right now in the season, guys. They're 15 and 18. So the Phoenix Suns are in the 12th seed in the West, which is obviously the harder conference. And dude, I mean, they started off the year pretty good. They started solid. Everything kind of went to shit the moment that KD got injured. They kind of fell off the wagon there. And then now they really can't get their feet under them. So, yeah, this is where we're at right now. Bradley Beal, Nurkic reportedly going to be coming off the bench. They're currently right now on a 4-game losing streak, Jose. 4 games in a row. That's a big skid in the West. If you're losing 4 in a row and you
That's
got
bad.
so much, yeah, it's so much top talent. You're talking about Kevin Durant, Book, Beal, Nurkic. Although he's not a big name, he's a solid center. So a 4-game skid, yeah. So
Yeah.
and you look, I'm gonna say this because we just had Mike Brown from the Kings just got fired recently. I'm
The
glad that
coach?
I'm glad that they're not firing the coach. Like you can't even
Yeah, but they
go
have
there.
fired. They have fired the coach last year. Frank.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I'm glad they're not even looking
They
to
can't
like
even look at that.
they can't even look at the coach. So I'm glad they're like, okay, it's got to be a personal, a roster change. Something has to happen here. So before we fired up this recording, you were telling me about how you think it might be a possible Jimmy Butler trade.
Um,
Speak on that.
yeah, I mean that'll be a good trade, but regardless, even if they do that trade, I think it'll still have the same like outcome. I don't think. I think Butler. I think Beal is a better fit than Butler, honestly.
Yeah, you don't think it really moves the needle. I feel the same way. But
Yeah.
but here's the thing. Here's why I think sometimes it's not necessarily about moving the needle, and it's more about a change of scenery. Like Jimmy Butler clearly does not want to be in Miami.
Nah.
Bradley Beal, I don't think he's gonna be excited about coming off the bench. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does accept that role and they start all of a sudden getting back on track. But prior to him joining the Suns, we knew that there was interest in Bradley
In
Beal going
Miami.
to going to the Heat. Correct. So it would just make sense, not necessarily because they're a better fit, but just both players being in a scenario where they actually want to be in. Maybe that makes all the difference.
What about Booker? What if like Booker decides to leave or like
That's a big
I feel like if anybody Booker, because Booker's been there the longest and they haven't been winning with him.
but I just
That's
think
the main
I
piece.
think Book is happy there, and with KD, is he really gonna ride out and just leave KD just hanging?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that I don't know. They haven't been winning with him there, so
Nah, they haven't been winning. I mean, I think it was just a really bad look last year when they got swept by the Timberwolves. 4-0 sweep to the Timberwolves, so ultimately didn't get the job done. They lost to the Mavericks. I mean, yeah, maybe the roster's
KD's
just
also
not
not
built.
healthy either. So like that doesn't help either.
Yeah,
And
KD being injured and Beal too. Beal's been tremendously injured for them, so that doesn't help. I know Grayson Allen had his things. They haven't been at full strength, but it doesn't matter. At
but
the
I
end
don't
of the
understand why they will bench Nurkic.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe he's just.
Like
They feel like he's not performing. He's not performing. He's not giving them the production that's needed.
as their main center, like I mean, that's
You got to
crazy.
remember, they were willing to move on from Aiton because it was a situation where Aiton wasn't happy, and you know what I mean.
There's I don't know, maybe
Aiton
something
is clearly a better center than Nurkic, but they decided to do a tactical downgrade just to get rid of that bad locker room scenario with Aiton
maybe
being
something going
unhappy.
on with the managers or something in like in the organization.
James Jones is the manager. He's doing a good job. He's put together, what on paper seems like a good roster.
Yeah, but the chemistry is
It's
is
not working. There's
is
something
not
not clicking right now. A 4-game skid, something's not clicking, and they're looking to make changes. And the change is the
Jimmy
bench.
Butler.
Now people are speculating not Jimmy Butler, benching them. Benching them is the move that they're going with right now, which is basically changing up your lineup. You're taking 2 of your starters and you're bringing them to the bench, which I think could work if you get Beal at his natural position. Tyus Jones for the Suns has done a really good job. He's one of the best turnover to assist ratio point guards in the league. So I think he's been great for them. But they can't go on a 4 game losing streak, man. The league is too competitive, and in the West, I mean, they're looking at a play-in right now, 12th seed. They don't want to be in that position.
I don't know. I just think KD's already getting old.
True.
Bradley Beal is low key old too. So
And it's
like
that plus
there's
like
a lot of players right now that are better than KD and Bradley Beal.
well,
Like
I would still think
not
KD is
better,
like a
not better,
top
but
player.
playing better or
And,
like playing with more energy.
oh, exactly. I think on a consistent nightly basis, you could go with a lot of other players that are gonna
Yeah,
perform
that
more.
are gonna give you more on defense than KD is gonna give you on
I
defense.
agree with that take wholeheartedly. I'm 100% with you on that. And that's just it comes with also being in the league for so long. Like KD's been
Yeah,
around a long time.
that's what I'm saying. That motivation maybe is not there, or like it's still KD, but
I think it's harder to get through the grind of the regular season. I know once the playoffs come around, you know they're gonna be full go. But the problem is
yeah,
that's why this is so important. You can't have a 4 game losing
yeah,
streak
but
where
they're not even on pace to make it to the playoffs.
that's the problem. And that's why they're making these changes. And although we're saying this about KD, when it comes around, if we had to build a roster right now that you would go into the playoffs, you're not gonna leave KD out of it. Like you would definitely take KD over a lot of those like maybe
Yeah,
younger, more
yeah,
energetic players. Because when the playoffs come around, KD's gonna be the top dog. It's just what it is. But the
yeah.
problem is you got to get through that regular season grind as well.
But injuries too. Will KD even be healthy by the playoffs?
Yeah,
And Beal too.
he's been dealing with injuries right now. You
So
just saw, Luka is out for the Mavericks.
yeah, no,
Kyrie Irving
yeah.
now looking to be at least 2 weeks out. He's got a disc, a bulging disc that just hit my phone right
So
now. So
at the end of the
injuries.
day, the most important thing is to be healthy. Like at the end, by the end of the
I
season.
yeah no, especially for you to be able to maintain a record. That's why a team like the Magic is so bro. And the Magic were off to such a great
Yeah, but
season,
this
and
guy got injured, Paulo.
it's been everyone. Wagner,
Same thing last year.
Bankero
Same thing
first
happened last year.
last year too, and then now Suggs too. Like, how does everyone in the starting lineup just get
Even
completely
even the
damaged?
best team, even the Thunders have their center,
Yeah,
Hogan.
yeah, but that's another team that's super impressive. The OKC Thunder are
Yeah,
running through the West.
I think
But
it's
then
gonna be
again,
them.
and that's the difference between a team like the Suns and the Thunder. They got a
They're
lot.
healthy
They're healthy. They're healthier, and they got younger players. And
and they're young. Yeah, they're all
they're
young.
young.
Even the superstar is like 20 something,
And
27.
that's what I'm saying. And so that's the difference right there. And in the West, that's why the Suns are in this predicament, bro. It's
Yeah,
age, it's injuries, and
yeah,
maybe
no.
a little bit of it for sure has to do with the roster maybe not being built completely how it's supposed to be. But I think it's good enough for them to be in the playoff picture, not being
I
a
don't
12 seed.
I don't think Booker and Beal should be on the floor at the same time. I think Beal is better like off the bench for
Yeah,
Booker
yeah.
and leave KD in the starting and then Nurkic if he gets his shit together, maybe he should be in the starting lineup too. But
Yeah,
I don't
But
think
here,
Booker and
but you
Beal.
gotta understand these dudes are prideful, and this guy's coming from like an all-star mentality. Like, is Beal gonna buy into being a bench player? That's the
Yeah.
if. That's the big if.
Yeah,
And
no.
people speculating if this is because you gotta think as a GM, you do things like this. All right, so this is why people are speculating. Bradley Beal has a no trade clause, meaning he needs to give the A-OK, yeah, I want to get traded, right? To be able to get traded. The team can't just randomly trade Bradley Beal. He has that in his contract. But by doing something like this, maybe he himself is going to be disappointed or
Yeah.
not feel
Okay.
valued how you get me? So this could be the move
Yeah.
leading up to him requesting that trade. However, maybe he's like, man, I don't even want to move my family around. I don't want to do this. I'm already a vet in this league. I want to stay here. I'll play my role off the bench. And I think if he does that, they might actually be more successful. Like I
That's what I
agree,
said. And not only that, he might low key get more playing time by doing that, by coming off the bench.
playing time or the minutes that he's on the floor, since he's not sharing the court so much with KD and Book,
That's what I'm saying.
he's getting auto main touches. The ball's gonna
That's
go
why I
through
said
him.
come off the bench for Booker and he'll be the main player on the
Yeah,
second team.
gotta
On the
have that
second
second
yeah,
unit. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
gotta have that 6 man mentality. And by the way, this like have you seen what Peyton Pritchard is doing for the Celtics?
He's good.
Bro, Peyton Pritchard is
Yeah.
this guy's a monster and nothing, bro. It's all about a mentality. You gotta buy in, be willing to play that role, and he's doing it. Bradley Beal, you telling me Bradley Beal can't do what Pritchard does for a team like the Suns? Of course he can. He needs to be there like mentally. Like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do it.
You gotta look at it like Lou Williams. He comes off the bench, but he's still like a main player. Like,
Well, Lou Will's been retired, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Using him as an example, right?
but
Like
have that mindset. Like, okay, I'm coming off the bench,
100%.
but I'm
I'm
gonna
coming
come
off
off
the
the bench and I'm
bro.
gonna like drop 20 or 30 points.
Lou Williams, Manu Ginobili. Those are the prime examples of what a bench player should look like.
Look
Like a
at Manu
good.
Ginobili's in the Hall of Fame and he came off the bench pretty
No, no,
much.
no. That dude right there knew that he could have been a starter his whole career, basically. But he knew that for the betterment of the team, those buckets off the bench were so valuable. They never lost a step because, oh, okay, this guy's coming out, but now we got Manu Ginobili coming in, who's essentially really, skillful wise, he's a starter. So Beal, I don't think. By the way, let's just be honest here. I don't think Beal's already at that level. Like the league is so talented. Beal's not at the level that he used to be at
I don't
before.
even think he's like top 10 right now
The,
in
the
the league.
guard the guard position is so stacked. He's already older. He's dealt with a lot of injuries. I'm not saying the talent's not there. Clearly, that doesn't go away. But it's the consistency of doing it night in and
Yeah.
night out.
What was the
I
last?
think
Where is the last time that Bradley Beal has been like consistent?
no,
Like,
that's why I think maybe accepting that role off the bench would be the best thing for him at this point in his career. So maybe this change is actually what he needs. But if he doesn't, hey, listen, if he doesn't buy into it, we know a trade is coming. It's either get with the program or that trade is coming. So I would say, like, I think I would agree with you. A perfect scenario is the Jimmy Butler.
yeah, and Jimmy Butler is like he's out of here for sure.
No, he's out. Well, this report saying that if they don't find a suitable landing spot within this 7-day suspension, that it's rumored that he is gonna play. But come on, man.
What?
If you're
Nah.
if you are Pat Riley and the Heat, that's enough of this circus show.
Bro,
You need to move on.
he lost the last game by 30 points
Like 30 to 40. They were losing. Who was it to the Jazz? It was to a terrible
to
team,
the
bro.
Jazz
To the Jazz.
by 30 points.
I should take this hat off. It is shameful what they're what and this the other game too. It was bad. Like they're just getting blown out,
Yeah, I know
destroyed.
it's hard to play when your main player is like acting out and they're all beefing. They're all
I,
like,
I feel like, man, just for the sake of having some team chemistry, you got to move on from him already. Get someone either if you could get picks. I would honestly go into
I would trade him without getting nothing in return at
Well,
this point.
they're not gonna do that. Pat Riley is not gonna do that. I get what you're saying. Like almost
They're
like
not gonna do
just
that,
to get him out the locker room.
but like just having him there is holding the team back.
I agree. I think, but either you go for the rebuild, and if you're going for a rebuild, you're gonna have to trade with a team that's got picks. But I know Jimmy Butler real. I know they don't want to trade him to the
thing
Eastern
is,
Conference.
like what team is gonna accept Jimmy Butler as their main player?
No, that's not gonna be the
He
case.
has a big ego. He wants to be the main player.
Nah, because remember, he's gone into teams like when he joined Philly, he knew he wasn't the main guy behind Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
He
they
could
ended up
join a
having
contender.
problems.
Yeah, no, but now because of him though, it was really the Tobias. Remember, it was the Sixers had to pick who was going to get the contract, Tobias Harris or Jimmy, and they gave it to Tobias Harris, which ultimately was a mistake because after that, I mean, with the Heat, he went to 2 NBA Finals. The Sixers haven't sniffed the NBA Finals, but that's besides the point. I think Jimmy Butler could help a contender. The question is, it has to be somebody in the Western Conference. I don't think Pat Riley's going to trade him somebody to the East. And if it's someone in the West, who? I mean, the Nuggets, who would
Bradley
they be?
Beal?
Beal's the only one that really makes sense. This is kind of that's kind of why we're getting off topic here
Yeah.
and now talking about Jimmy Butler because it makes sense for it to just Bradley Beal, Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler. I feel like he's gonna play defense. You might be able to insert him into the starting lineup. He does
Maybe
not need to score.
maybe they send him to the Warriors.
So the Warriors was a possible fit. I think until Kuminga just got injured. So I don't know if they're gonna like because Kuminga just got hit with an injury. So I think that kind of took it off the table. I know Kuminga probably would have had to been involved in that deal to make that one happen for Jimmy Butler. Yeah, I think he would have helped the Warriors too. I would like to see that.
He has to
I
go
would like
to
to
a
see
team where they have like already a good structure
A
already.
good core, something good
Yeah.
already happening. And I think that he would trade him to that kind of a scenario. I just don't think it's going to be in the East. Like, for example, he would not end up in the Philadelphia 76ers
No,
whatsoever.
not the Sixers, but maybe Milwaukee.
Ooh, no, I mean, I just don't think Pat Riley's going to give it to the competition like that. Like,
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah,
put
Pat
him over the
Riley's too
top
smart.
like that. Yeah, like to be able to
Yeah,
compete versus the Celtics. I think he's going somewhere in the West if you had to ask me. But anyways, let's wrap this one up. I don't want this one to drag too much right here. Bradley Beal, these are my thoughts. Come off the bench, accept your role. I think the Suns will actually be more successful, and I do think they start winning more games. If he doesn't accept it, I think we're going to see a trade here soon. The deadline is coming up soon.
and their center.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with Nurkic. They might do a package deal where they just get rid of both of them, but then they're gonna need another center. So who are they gonna get? Or maybe they sign a free agent. Who knows? Yeah.
And they're keeping KD for sure.
Now KD's not going anywhere. KD's not unless the whole team just crumbles and everything just falls apart. And I don't think I don't think that's the. I think the Suns can find a way to get back in that playoff picture and not be a playing team. But they just got to get it going here. A 4 game skid is no good.
I feel like Bradley Beal is out, and they they might. All the other pieces are the same, but Bradley Beal might be out, and I think he's coming to the Heat.
Ooh, there you guys have it, man. That is the take right there. I think Bradley Beal should buy in. He is saying Bradley Beal. He's making a prediction right now. Bradley
Miami,
Beal to the
let's
Miami Heat.
go.
Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's definitely gone. And I do think for everyone out there watching, I do think is the most likely scenario. We're gonna catch you guys on the next one, man. If you haven't already, this is our first episode, first upload ever. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys
Yeah.
on the next one. Let's get it.